The President of the United States is a place of hope for all the Americans. So trust him. Why President George Bush was silent at 9/11 morning. According to witness, the first crash took place at the morning of 8:46 a.m. The then President of the United States, George W. Bush, was on a tour of a school in Florida. While he was on the way, his White House Chief of Staff Andrew Curt informs him about the incident. But Bush couldn't believe it. He says it's unbelievable that anyone could even do that. He says that surely the pilot would have suffered a heart attack. That's why the plane crashed into the building. How else could it happen? The plane crashed into one of the towers at the World Trade Center in New York City in this morning of 9/11 at 8:46 a.m. A few minutes after the second plane crash, the news of two more planes being hijacked comes in. One was the American Airlines Flight 77. It had taken off from the Washington's International Airport. This flight was headed to Los Angeles and it was also carrying 5 hijackers. The second flight was United Airlines Flight 93. The flight was going from New Jersey to California. Apparently, it had 4 hijackers. At 9:59 a.m., due to the plane crash into the South Tower, the whole building had caught on fire. And at this time, the entire building collapsed. The South Tower failed. During this time, everyone was scared of the fourth hijacked plane, United Airlines Flight 93. The fourth plane to have been hijacked. People were scared about where the hijackers would crash the plane, White House or the US Capitol building. The White House is a very important place for the United States because this is the residence of the President of the United States. The USA President lives there. The United States Capitol building is the legislative seat of the US federal government. So, it was suspected that the target of the fourth plane would either be the White House or the Capitol Hill building. But at the evening, the President addresses the nation. Today, our fellow citizens, our very freedom came under attack. President George W. Bush is not an ordinary person at the past. He was the first lieutenant in the United States Air Force, which is equivalent to the lieutenant rank in the US Army. That means he runs a platoon. He has a vast experience about the military academy training. So he can handle any situation, any emergency and danger situation. So do not underestimate or undermine his silence at the time of he listens about the terrorist attack. He understands who was behind this attack. He figured out how this could happen, how a plane has been hijacked and could hit the World Trade Center building. The attacker didn't take responsibility at the beginning. But President George Bush figured out who was behind the attack. Leader of the nation for a reason. Everyone knows that. He was the first person to announce the name of the planner of this attack against the Americans. President George W. Bush actually recognized the mastermind behind this attack. So he figured out what steps should be taken after this disaster. That's why he was silent. As a suitable leader of the nation, everything needed to figure out the mastermind or the person behind any attack or any incident needs silence. George W. Bush is an intelligent person, so he understands what to do. Just look at the time of America attack back on the terrorist targets in Afghanistan. The United States started bombing on October 7, 2001. After the 26 days, the terrorist attack on the Americans. So the United States and President George Bush both are successful in the race in the war against terrorism. So you cannot say that he is failed. He is successful. He successfully handled the situation, and the United States has now gained all the profits from the Afghan war. The black day for the American people, the 9/11 couldn't even defeat the nation. The nation was under attack on that day, but after a decade, after 20 years, the United States has gained all the success. So, do you have any question about this discussion of this video?